Hello, is this thing on? Hello? Yo, Kpaceguy here. What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to episode 5 of Bang for Your Buck, where I go out and find speakers, receivers, TVs, and any other electronics that won't break the bank. Now today on this episode, we're talking about the Fluance SXHTB home theater package. Now these speakers, they have a good place in my heart. I actually owned these speakers way back when I first started doing YouTube. They are one of my favorite speakers. If you guys have been here for a long time, you may remember me doing these speakers in one of my old videos. And so you may remember this clip right here. Take a look.
Speakers here, they're still the Fluance. I think last time I made a video, they were the Sony SSF, I think 7000s. But now I got these Fluances. I don't remember the model number. But Fluance has some very nice speakers, and I actually wanted another pair from them that they've just made with a glossy black finish that looks nice, has a down-firing woofer. It's beautiful, but don't have the money right now. But it's okay. But I have these, and they do me justice, but they'll be replaced eventually.
Gosh, that was so long ago. Don't roast me in the comments. I had a terrible camera, bad audio. I really wasn't into YouTube yet. I was just kind of showing things off just for the fun of it. I wasn't serious yet. And you can see how much I've grown from then to now. But those speakers are one of my favorite speakers. Those speakers are so good sounding for what they're worth. And man, they're a bang for your buck even in today's standards. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So this is the SXHTB home theater set. So what you get in it is 2 floor standing speakers, you get 2 bookshelves and a center channel. But it isn't just in there. There's different configurations you guys can choose from. So you can get the 5.0 setup, you can get a 5.1 setup, and they throw in a subwoofer there. You can get a 7.0 setup, so now you get 2 floor standers, 2 bookshelves, 2 smaller bookshelves, and then a center channel to run a whole 7.0, or you can get a 7.1 and they'll give you a subwoofer. And the prices are gonna pop on the screen here. Before the base 5.0, you're looking at $399 for a 5.0 system. And it goes up just a little bit from there, but not much. So this is definitely a bang for your buck. And having these speakers in my possession once before, I can tell you guys right now, these speakers are one of my favorite speakers. And out of the speakers that I reviewed for the bang for your buck, these are my favorite speakers out of the ones that I've showed you. The Pioneers, I believe I did the Pioneers, and I did a Polk Audio set. I think these are the best ones that I've mentioned so far in this series. So these speakers are phenomenal. So we'll go real quickly through the specifications there. So it's a 2-way 3-driver floor standing speaker in the main drivers, the floor standers. Pretty good power handling, anything from 50 to 160 watts. So they're gonna be able to work on pretty much every receiver or any kind of power amplifier you're gonna be using them on. They actually hold up pretty well. I didn't use them on a power amplifier. I used them straight from a receiver. Back in the day was a Pioneer 1522, and the Pioneer powered it just fine. So you're not going to need too much power. It gets down to around 49 hertz up to 20 kilohertz. I really remember them being pretty good on the low end actually. I think in that room that I had in that video, got down to about 42 or 43 hertz of, usable audio output. So it's actually really good. I actually really miss those speakers so bad. They're one of my favorite speakers. They look pretty good for what they are. Of course, they're just a black ash, but it comes in a walnut color as well. But they looked really good. They're surprisingly deep as far as depth goes with the cabinet. So you got a pretty good amount of bass, and it had not 1 but 2 bass ports on the back, so it really helped reinforce that bass. And of course, being a speaker that does not give a lot of bass, it has the rear ports on the back so that when you press it up against the wall, it kind of reinforces that low end to try to help itself out, which worked pretty well. These speakers sounded really good. I remember these like the back of my hand. That tweeter was one of my favorite tweeters to listen to. It was so soft and silky, so accurate, detailed, but never fatiguing. So you can listen to it as loud or as soft as you wanted to, and you never felt like, okay, I'm done. I'm tired of listening to music. I'm tired of watching this movie. It never fatigued you whatsoever. It was never tiresome. That's one of my favorite things about that system. And then those drivers were so quick and accurate. Their response time was phenomenal. I don't think I listened to a piece of music that I didn't like on the speakers. Of course, I had a subwoofer at the time. I had a PL200 and a Big America F12 at the time. So I had some pretty good bass to help it out, but the speakers by themselves sounded so good, and they handled whatever I threw at them. So they're really good speakers for home theater, and they're really good speakers for music. So they're not that efficient, not too bad. They're 89 decibels of sensitivity, so you need a little bit of power. So if you can get more towards that 100 watts, 110 watts on that spectrum there, you're going to be in a good sweet spot there. It's not a tall or big speaker whatsoever. So if you're not looking for something that's big, these aren't big. They only stand about 38.8 inches high. So they're not going to be taller than, you know, anything else in your room. Probably the same level of your TV if you're on a TV stand. So it's not too bad. So these speakers are phenomenal, guys, and you don't have to stick with just a 5.0 system. Again, they have different prices for different things, 5.1, 7.0, 7.1. These speakers are phenomenal, and they're easy to obtain. Fluance is still selling them on their website now, so they're not discontinued or anything like that. They've been around forever, but they're so good that they're still around now. So guys, take a look at these speakers. They're phenomenal speakers. I really miss them. I almost considered them going back and getting them for this listening room, but I decided if I'm going to get speakers, I'm going to get something new to play with. That's what I want to do. So guys, take a look at these speakers. They're phenomenal speakers. You got two options of colors. You got the black ash and you got the walnut finish. Personally, I like the black ash with these speakers because the walnut is not too nice. It's still a wood grain. It's still not that great. But if it matches your decor better, then maybe it will work for you. But these speakers are phenomenal. You can't go wrong. If you don't want bookshelf speakers, they do have some bipole speakers that I actually had my hands on as well. Fantastic bipole speakers. I kind of wish that I still had them. Fantastic. The only thing that I will say that I didn't really like too much about this system overall was the center channel. Again, you're paying not too much for the system. It's a rather cheap system compared to other things that you could be getting. And the center channel is kind of where they kind of, you know, cut corners at. It's not a big center channel. It's probably about this wide. You can hold it with one hand. I forgot what size the drivers are, but I'll pull it up here on the screen. It wasn't the best center channel at all. I felt like I was having to turn my center channel volume up much more than the rest of my system just for it to bring through the vocals. And then it kind of worked out, but not the best center channel. In that video that I showed you, I had that long center channel. I actually replaced the small center channel with another 4-standing speaker. So overall, the system is fantastic. For $399.99 for the 5.0 system, you're not going to beat it. Absolutely not. You can't find another system like that at that cheap other than the Polk Audio T-Series, which isn't as good as the Fluance's at all. So guys, take a look at that. That's going to be my bang for your buck for this episode. They're fantastic speakers, and I wish I held on to them, but now I'm letting you guys know so that you guys can get your hands on them. So guys, if you found this video informative, helpful, fun, cool, silly, anything at all, hit that like button, leave me a comment down below. Have you heard of these speakers? Have you ever owned speakers like these, the Fluances? What are you using right now in your home theater? I'm very curious to know. And then hit that subscribe button so that you're staying tuned for more, because I got some super cool stuff coming this week for you guys. We'll see you in the next video. Kpaceguy out.